Miss Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse upon what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really kicks me off. Well, tonight we're going to talk about something that makes me very, 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 very happy. For one thing, I did, Precious. Yes, I did. I got to 1,000 subs, and just need a few hundred watch hours to get fully monetized. And then I don't need to say I'm mostly monetized anymore. So thank you, one and all, who helped me get there. And tonight we're going to be talking about good movies. So any movie that's good is fair game for this, but I'm going to highlight some of the ones that we have watched recently. And my guest tonight is the one, the only, the Norwegian and the Viking himself, all the way from the future and the next day. It is Steve Kenobi.
Hi.
Hello. How is the future? How's the future?
Well, I don't know. Dark. It's dark outside.
Oh, okay. Well, the future is dark.
Sun hasn't come up yet.
The sun will come. I was going to say the sun will come out tomorrow, but we don't even know that. Okay. Well, thank you for being here. And we're about ready to share some really cool stuff. It is, look, it's me. Hello. And it is Corey Cochran. Hello. Hello. Corey Cochran says, I fin and not late. What a night. Okay. That sounds like your computer got a little bit drunk, but that's okay. What a night. Well, you're not late. Not at all. Hello, Charlie Stevenson. Thank you for being here. It is Michael's Asylum. Hello. Hello. And saying hello to Stieg Ubaldo T. Hello, everyone. Always like to see the Dark Lord. Hi, King Theanor Alpha Chad of Middle Earth. Always good to see that scoundrel visit. Hello, and congrats at 1,000 treats. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And you oathish person. And a rose. We love roses here at Miss Martin Music. Corey Cochran. Good is in the eye of the viewer. Precisely. Because, yeah, some movies can actually completely suck, and that's perfectly okay. But, we're talking particularly good movies and maybe encouraging people to continue to look backwards, because the more I have done so, I have found myself to be quite the happy camper. I don't know. This makes you feel better. And Stieg, I don't know if I lost him or if he's...
No. You were yapping, so I was politely shutting up.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you for politely shutting up. And I'm putting on here, what are you watching? That is for the chat. Please share, or what would you recommend? Now, currently, it's not a movie, but I am watching the Shogun miniseries, the new one from FX. It's pretty good. Now, if I hadn't been so in love with the 1980 miniseries, I would think this was a complete revelation. So far, I think the 80s one is better, objectively speaking, but we'll see. I guess I need to wait till it ends. But it is so refreshing to have well-written, historically accurate portrayals from everything I can see of the Japanese culture in the 1600s. So I would highly recommend that you watch it. So far, if it gets to the end and I think they totally screw it up, then I will have an unbridled rage. But that is definitely what I am watching right now. So I'm going to put, what are you watching? What do you recommend? And Steve's been sharing on Twitter everything that he's been watching, and he's been
not everything, but most.
Yeah,
just
most.
Put up, Sometimes people will DM me and go, "Oh, thank you for posting that picture of the movie because I'd forgotten about it," and then they go and watch it. Trey Courtney sometimes reviews them on this channel as well. So I'm being a little bit helpful or trying to.
Well, for sure, and we want to bring people happiness because things suck, So why wallow in the suck when you can wallow in the good? And I also like to share a lot of the books too that we read, but that is not for today's stream. There, though, please, if you wouldn't mind, maybe watching the replay of the other one. Well, let's first look at one I want to share, especially since today everyone is saying respect Tolkien. Though technically this is not Tolkien, but rather an adaptation of his work. The Return of the King. Now, I saw this in the cinema last month, no, 2 months ago. My gosh, it's been that long. So, and it was gonna be 4 plus hours, or I remember thinking, "I'm going to need to go to the bathroom, I'm gonna need to take breaks." I brought my crochet with me. I often do that in the cinema because I can't stand to sit still. I didn't need any of it. I didn't go to the bathroom. I didn't crochet. I was just enthralled. Now, this is a movie I have seen 200,500,000 times. Ew, I just forgot how perfect it was, and from beginning to end, and to see it again on the big screen was completely enthralling. Have have you recently rewatched these movies, Steve?
Not yet, but I will rather soon because I try to watch them, the extended movies every year.
Mhm.
It's like a tradition thing, but haven't gotten to this one yet. But I I will. Uh,
Yeah. Well, it's definitely worth it. Now, they were also showing the other ones, the Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers in the cinema. I didn't get around to it. I wish I had now. Dag nabbit. Yes, Michael's Asylum says Aragorn, excellent character. Yes, we love him here at Miss Smart Muses. He is a total example of manhood. Everything about him. I was watching a video, I wish I could give a shout out, but I don't recall, about Aragorn and why he's so daggone perfect. He's a warrior, he's a king, and he's a lover, and just the way he respects everyone. For example, he does not lead Eowyn on. In the movies, I wasn't too happy with some of the scenes in the Two Towers because it looked like he was. But no, he didn't. He was always completely honest with her. It was her crush, and but he was so thoughtful about, just how much he knew that her heart was hurting. And when he told her at the betrothal with Faramir that all I've wanted for you is to be happy, you knew he meant it. Of course, brotherhood, the with the fellowship and him and Boromir, their little bromance. Of course, nowadays they probably would rewrite it all to make them, well, very friendly. Michael Silent says from Samwise's channel, it's possible. It's possible. Well, look who it is. It's Ancient One. Yay. We love you here at Miss Smart Muses. We love everyone. But we definitely, yes. Yes. Stieg, I can't pronounce that. The Avatar Viking Squirrel. Or I guess that's how you say Stieg in your Viking. But then again, or in a
no,
Norwegian language, but how you say
no,
Stieg in your name.
he wants me to have an ankh symbol. You know, the Egyptian one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically he wants me to be a squirrel with an ankh thing on the fur.
Understood.
So
Thank you
I,
for.
it's very confusing, but there it is.
Okay, well, that's awesome. And then I was sounding ignorant because, of course, your name is the perfect Scandinavian version of your name.
Well,
What I know,
it's 4 letters. That's it.
exactly. What I know, and what I do not know, damn it, I sure don't know. Thank you for that. But I'm going to be doing a stream relatively soon about Boromir and the books because they showed in the Fellowship of the Ring some conflict between Aragorn and Boromir that wasn't quite there. But I understand why they played it up a bit in the movies because they had to. Because it was all leading up to the moment with him succumbing to the power of the ring and then redeeming himself. So it kind of helped earn it a little bit.
Plus, it was prep work for Denethor being introduced later on and showing us that, yeah, things might not be so easy in Gondor.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And there were some scenes that they did kind of put back in that I thought showed a little more camaraderie, or was it in the theatrical edition when they're like, "The sons of Gondor have returned, and they're gonna blow the horn," and all that? I thought that that was very beautiful, so they did show that kind of stuff, and we know from what Theoden said, "Where was Gondor when this happened? Where was Gondor?" And then it became a meme because someone has a map and it shows Gondor. It's like, there it was. Yeah. So, and it doesn't hurt the fact that Vito Mortensen is pretty darn fine in this role. So he does a good job. So Salty Traveling Sea is here in the house. Hello, thank you for being here. What does he say? Shogun 9 out of 10 after 2 episodes. Yes, I think that's fair. I mean, Steak, it is that good. It really is. Masters of the Air, 8
Yeah,
out of 10 so far.
yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's only going to be 6 episodes or something, but I'm looking forward to it. I have watched the original show from the early '80s with Richard Chamberlain. Don't remember too much about it, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm probably going to binge a few episodes, so we'll see.
Yay. Superb. Yeah, my gosh. I feel really sorry for the star. I think he's doing a great job, but you just can't out Richard Chamberlain. That's just all there is to it. But yes, it's very good so far. Masters of the Air. Have not seen 8 out of 10 so far. I gave House of the Dragon 7.25 overall for scale. Yeah, I think that's a good assessment of House of the Dragon. I think I gave it a 7.5. It was when it was good, and when it sucked, and it was enough to jar the first season, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I was sitting here in Norway wondering why Roe versus Wade is relevant to me, and why is it put into Westeros. Other than that, it was pretty fine, you know.
Yeah.
But then they
That
tied it into the retard show, so all all roads lead to Jake Skywalker, right?
yeah. That was very unfortunate. Who knows though? I know that there's some people out there that think they're going to actually remake the original Game of Thrones. I don't see that happening, at least not until Martin
Well,
publishes his book.
here's the thing: if they remake the original Game of Thrones, right?
Hmm.
House of the Dragons still refers to the other one, so they're gonna have to remake House of the Dragon as well.
Oh gosh, and then we're in this big circle of
Yeah,
remakes, aren't we?
exactly. So what they should have done is not reference the original show at all.
I
You
agree.
know,
No one would have had a problem with them doing that. No, we wouldn't have even missed it. Salty Traveling Sea says Teresa objectifying Aragorn. I love it. Oh yeah, well, you don't know the meaning of the word objectifying until we turn toward the current steward of Gondor, the man who shows his quality. The man himself, Faramir. Okay, I'm not going to pronounce this right, so I'm not going to say it. He is a great actor. Yes, he is the highlight so far of the Shogun show. The chick who plays Mariko, no, she kind of sucks. Best to let Game of Thrones die peacefully. Yes, they should. Ubaldo T says Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Prime is a surprisingly great show. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Because I saw it, but I like blinked and I missed it. But I guess the actors in it are good. Oh wait, no one wants pizza. Oh yeah, we want pizza. Did I miss the pizza? Oh, he brought pizza for the live chat. Powerful ice cream pizza power style. Yes, we all want pizza. Oh, but he just got back from the Chinese buffet. Okay. All right, so that is specifically Return of the King, but of course the Lord of the Rings trilogy, perfection. Hobbit trilogy, the parts that are adapted from the actual story, I find are magnificent. The ones that aren't, not so much. Um, Michael's Asylum says that chick was what helped ruin Monarch Legacy of the Monsters for me. Oh, really? So she's been ruining everything so far. I don't think
which
she's a
mean
strong.
which
Sorry?
means they're gonna put her in all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
because that's what they
Well,
do. If an actor or an actress suck, they're gonna be in everything. Don't know
yeah.
why, but it's definitely a thing.
No, you are correct. That's what they're doing with Rachel Zegler for some reason I'll never know. And the redheaded chick from the Solo movie who showed up in some MCU stuff. She showed up in The Willow. I don't know what's so great about her either. Yeah, I found that she was plain in the role. She wasn't good. She wasn't great. She's just there. And it's like, dude, this is supposed to be such a strong woman in the best sense of the word. So, yeah, unfortunate. Well, look who it is. It is Dad Man Walking 55. Thank you for being here. Ancient One, you're the best. Thank you. Yeah, we love Ancient One here. Anna Swy sucks. Okay. Anytime. Oh, they gave Rachel Zegler an action award for
Yeah,
FFS. Yes.
yeah. Oh, yeah. She won it over Keanu Reeves and Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Absolutely absurd. I Salty Traveling says, I think Willow torpedoed that freckled, talentless DEI insert. Yeah. I mean, but hey, you could be Vivian freaking Lee and not be able to pull off that awful script. But I know what you mean. They put her in the Les Miserables miniseries as Eponine, and if you know anything about Les Miserables on several levels, that's wrong. But oh, it just ruined it. Just ruined it. Wait, seriously, that wasn't a joke? No, it was the truth. Yes, it actually happened at the People's Choice Awards, which I don't buy for a second that they would choose her over the. I mean, say what you will about Tom Cruise, that man is a legend. And when it comes to stunts, absolutely amazing. And Keanu Reeves, of course, is just a legend in him of himself. I mean, we just love Keanu Reeves here. Why, thank you, Ancient One. He's saying congratulations for reaching 1,000 subs. Well, thank you. Yes, it was a long time coming, and it happened. I couldn't have done it without all of you. All right, so yeah, please remember to continue to share what you're watching or what do you recommend. Stunning, Stupid, and Brave, Protected Class. Yes, there we go. So, you want to have anything else to say, Steve, about the Lord of the Rings? Any of the
No,
movies?
just
Nah.
just rewatchable as hell. Especially
Mm-hmm.
if you're a Tolkien fan. Granted, it doesn't follow the books completely, but it's a perfect movie version because you can't follow the books and do page by page adaptation. It's not going to work.
No.
Different mediums, but as a movie trilogy based on the Lord of the Rings, it's pretty perfect.
Mm-hmm. And it stands on its own. That's also what makes something a quality movie. That you could hypothetically never have read the books and still enjoyed it. Unlike The Rings of Power, which
Yeah.
I've been watching, where it's just like, this is just not even good dialogue. This
Well,
isn't good.
the people who made the Rings of Power never watched the movies or read the books, so
Hmm. Or rather,
one can
they
tell.
did, and they just decided to, I don't know, to just try to copy a few beats. Actually, they tried to copy the worst parts of the Lord of the Rings movies and bring them in too much. Why, hello, it
Well,
is
not
epic.
just that, they also just copied they copied lines that Kate Blanchett had done in other movies and rewrote them a bit and gave them to the Galadriel actress. So I'm pretty sure they were sitting there writing the script, watching Kate Blanchett movies to make sure they're Galadriel channeled Blanchett or something. So they just took lines from the movies and gave them to Galadriel after having rewritten them a bit.
Yeah.
A lot of them are from the Elizabeth movies, and even the armor is almost the same as the one
Oh,
Elizabeth
gee.
wears. Yeah.
Well, that's quite a nightmare. I saw the first Elizabeth movie as a long time ago. Were you the one that shared that the PMS line is actually from Elizabeth? The Tempest. There's a Tempest.
Yeah,
Okay.
Galadriel yells that there's a tempest in me.
Hmm.
Kate Blanchett in Elizabeth yells that there's a hurricane in me.
Oh, that's worse than a Tempest. So that's like really bad cramps.
Yeah, they
So,
basically changed hurricane for tempest,
oh,
and
that's
yeah,
that's
I think
ridiculous.
Lady Greymaster and I was looking at stuff like that, and the Numenor set, the streets
Hmm.
in Numenor. It's the exact same streets from Shadar Logoth in Wheel of Time. They just reused the set, put up some little flower beds and what have you, little signs.
Oh boy.
So yeah, they just yeah reused the set from their other fantasy show, hoping nobody would notice.
Recycling. Well, they're going to need it because they're definitely running out of budget. They're certainly not making money. Well, hello, Epic Mike, who's saying congrats on 1K. Well, thank you very much. And so does also Anime Night 1992. Congrats on 1000K. Also, greetings. Well, thank you. America's 2001. Holy, I'm no longer going to be trolling for comedic purposes. Reality is more zany than anything I could come up with. Yes, absolutely. I Babylon B keeps saying, well, something else we parodied came true. There were Nostradamus. Dadman Walking says, a few weeks ago, I spent about 12 hours in the theater watching all three Lord of the Rings movies, extended cut back to back to back. Time well spent because I have never seen any extended cuts. Oh, so that's the first time you saw it. Oh my gosh. Tell you,
Great way to see it though for the first time.
oh, yeah. Oh, I would have loved to have done that. I actually think I need to do something to that effect but not in the cinema, but on my own. But yeah, that's amazing. I'll bet you were a mess though at the end. Cuz the first I was a mess just watching Return of the King, and I've seen it a gazillion times. Yes, I know, Ancient One. You really he wants the tea party with Lady Toriel and many other ladies. Yes, one of these days we shall. Well, thank you so much, Salty Traveling Sea. He has given me a super sticker, and it is a rose. You see that? Talk about something that kind of almost chokes me up every time people give me a rose. It it's very moving, and thank you, Salty Traveling. You've been a great support to the channel. I remember going on the interview series you did before that Abomination came out, where I shared about my love of Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings, and I know that you did too, Steek. Yeah,
Yeah, I
thank.
was talking about. He asked what my favorite character was or something. I was saying Boromir.
Mm,
So I think
yeah.
I was yeah. No, wait a minute. I was sent the questions and I had to record them because he was not using StreamYards. He was using something else, and it gave me a hell of a lag. So my interview is cheating. I have the
Oh,
questions and I recorded answering them. Yeah.
oh,
So
cheater,
mine
come
is
to the ear.
completely unique. It's fake as fuck.
Oh my gosh. Well, you
Yeah.
had Boromir, I had Faramir, so we were both representing. the world of men. Well, once again, thank you, Salty Traveling, and you get a rose. Thank you. Giving roses back and forth. Edmund Walking says the sound was amazing, and the big screen, it was like I was alone. Not many were there. Ooh, cool. Even better. And Salty Traveling says, once you see the extended, I think you can't go back to the theatrical, at least for me. Definitely.
Your sound is fucking up a bit.
Wait, my sound?
Yeah, it goes in and out sometimes.
Oh, because I was just
Wow.
talking about the sound. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Especially the Return of the King, Salty, I would especially agree because you know what they cut out from the theatrical cut. I was so mad. I mean,
Christopher Lee was mad too.
oh yeah, he was mad too. Actually, I was mad about that as well. But my rage went into the hemisphere when I realized that they had cut the Houses of Healing. And it was only like friggin' 30 seconds. They could have kept it in. But yes, it broke my heart what they did to Christopher Lee. Those bastards. Oh. And the fact that he was planning to go to the premiere in New Zealand, and then when he found out he was cut, he's like, "Well, I guess there's no reason for me to go."
Well, you know the stupid thing about that is, for people who haven't read the books, right,
Mm-hmm.
and watched it, the theatrical cuts, they'll think Saruman's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
But they go, well, what happened to Saruman? He's probably going to make trouble.
Yeah.
So, so when Gandalf and Frodo leaves, right? Gandalf's leaving, and the only wizard left in the world, according to those three movies, is Saruman. He's still out there.
Mm-hmm. And so is Wormtongue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Point in to your point, my mother had said something like that. She's like, "What happened to Saruman? Hanging out on the tower?" Woof woof, Miss Martin Stegan. Everyone, hello. We love our animals here at Miss Martin Muses. Dadman Walking says, question. I hear people say Two Towers was a better movie than Return of the King. No. Oh, hell no. How do you
I'd say,
feel?
I would say Fellowship is the best one. Because
Yes.
the Return of the King had that stupid popcorn scene. With the skulls coming out of the walls.
Oh, yeah. Though
Yeah.
technically that was in the extended. That wasn't in
Yeah.
the.
But if we're going by the extended version, that scene counts. If we're going by the theatrical, you have the removal of Saruman.
Mm-hmm.
So both of them kind of, yeah. Anyway, Fellowship of the Ring is a 10 out of 10 for me easily. The other two are 9s.
Interesting. Yeah. Now that you mention it, as far as the theatricals go, the Fellowship easily.
Yeah, and Two Towers has that thing, where they get attacked by wargs,
Mm-hmm.
and Aragorn falls off the cliff, and then he returns and he's alive. That whole shit could be cut. That wasn't needed at all.
No.
So they cut important stuff, and then they add little crap like that.
Yes. And they butchered Faramir in that.
Yeah.
And even if you didn't know that he was already the most perfect man in Middle Earth, it didn't make sense because he goes all the way up there. Look, we're 3 feet from Minas Tirith. And then Frodo's like, hey, Witch King, come get the ring. And they kind of shoot him, and the Witch King goes away. And we know the Witch King would not just go away from a little friggin' arrow. And then Faramir's like, now we get each other. I'm like, oh my gosh, kill me now.
So yeah,
Not literally.
he basically put the whole thing at risk just to make sure they understand each other. But
Yeah.
after that though, he's pretty much book Faramir.
Yes. He listened to the fans actually, because they did some reshoots. I know that. Good editing solves many many problems. Indeed, it does. But the Battle of Helm's Deep, I thought that was a 10 out of 10.
Oh hell yes.
Mhm. Well, and this is also a bit of a
Well,
mark.
you know what? There's a mistake in it because Gandalf says he's going to return and that they should look to the east, right?
Mhm.
According to the map, he doesn't arrive from the east because the back of Helm's Deep is facing north on the map. So Gandalf is arriving from southwest
Huh.
in the movie. He does not
Okay.
arrive from the east.
Well, they didn't have a compass.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, also the Two Towers had that really ridiculous Arwen thing where Aragorn's like, after all this time, oh, never mind, go away. I'm gonna break up with you. And I remember thinking, really? And that's also a mark against the Return of the King. Arwen's dying, and we were all like, what? Yeah, Arwen. Yeah, they didn't do a good job with her. Hiking Feanor says one negative thing about the movies, and I like the movies, is what they did to Denethor. They made him a little too BS crazy. I'll give you that. And you talked a little bit about that. There was a little more of a nobility to him that didn't come across, and the actor could have done it. It was just that was the way he was written. Michael Sound said the way I understood it wasn't Saruman stripped of his powers. Well, um, but that wasn't in the actual theatrical cut. It wasn't.
Yeah. Oh,
So
Michael, I know it's Middle Earth and not Earth, but on the map it says north, east, and west and south. So according to the map, Gandalf arrived from the east, the way we see it in the movie.
okay,
So they made a boo boo. There's a few of those though in the movies.
yeah. Yeah, I would need to look at it, but I'm trusting everybody. And technically, he said Middle Earth, so that's okay. Salty Traveling, I agree. Yeah, Fellowship is the most complete and best overall freestanding narrative. I agree, and especially the theatrical version is. And wow, that ending, that cliffhanger. Oh, and the sacrifice of Boromir. And that was an example of them showing us something that we didn't get in the book, but we used our imaginations because Tolkien is such an amazing author. He was able to just convey it by them looking at the scene after they arrived, what Boromir did and his heroism. But they did a good job. Dad Milwaukee, yes, the direction did seem off last time I watched. Thought it was just me. Michael says, Silence says, there are no movies out there without some errors with all the hands in the pie. Yeah, and there were some moments
Oh
in
yeah. Well,
the movie.
Boromir's death scene too, because in half the shots, his hand is on Aragorn's shoulder. But when we see from Boromir's point of view, the hand isn't there. But when the camera's aimed at Boromir's face, the hand is on Aragorn's shoulder.
Because
So it
they had
just
lunch.
goes.
What wasn't it?
Yeah, that's actually what happened. Sean Bean
Mm-hmm.
said it. They were shooting his part after lunch and Aragorn's part before lunch or something.
Yep. Hound 3000 gives the best answer. Gandalf doesn't know where he is going. He just moves as he wants. Yes. Just the way he arrives when he wants as well. Yeah, we love Gandalf here. Oh dear. I'll tell you, I'm just so glad that the Rings of Power was so horrendous that I'm able to not even connect any of it. When it first came out, I didn't watch it. I refused to because I was really afraid it would do what Jake Skywalker did. But there's just no possibility. It's just insane.
Well, that's why I skipped the Wheel of Time.
Mm,
Didn't watch it. I saw some bits of it, and it was laughable.
yeah.
It was actually worse than Rings of Power, because Rings of Power isn't an adaptation of anything. You know,
True.
but that one, yeah, nobody's gonna touch that book series now as as a TV show to be made, simply because of that shit show.
Yeah. It's
So
really unfortunate.
instead of us getting, that's a problem with a lot of it, is when someone gets the rights to adapt a book series or something, and they fuck it up, it's going to be decades eh, for someone to try again, if they even try.
Yeah. I mean, but can you imagine you have the rights to the wheel of blankety blank in time and you've got the money and that's what you chose to do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wheel time. Yeah, I understand. I am still reading it. I'm on the second book, but I know how I feel about The Lord of the Rings. I know how I feel about Star Wars. So I can only imagine how you all are feeling. Yes,
Yeah,
Charlie Stevens.
the the Wheel of Time is the closest anyone has gotten to Tolkien, I think.
Hmm.
uh, and it probably surpasses Tolkien in terms of scope and lore. You know, uh, so
Volume.
well, in volume and content,
Mm-hmm.
because Tolkien fleshed out a few countries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Robert Jordan fleshed out 20.
Yeah. Oh, I see it. And I think I've told you this before that I get a little bit cranky on comparisons because I don't think you can. Well, you're not saying one is better than the other, though. So that's
No,
the
no,
point.
no, no. It's,
Yeah.
it's just that he did more.
Hmm. Yeah. His accomplishment was great and only stopped by death, but he didn't allow that to happen. He got Sanderson to finish it. Yes, yeah, Charlie Stevenson, that was a thing that I missed, but I didn't miss from the movie because I'm not sure the Scouring of the Shire would have worked after everything we'd all been through in emotionally in the cinema. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It was missed.
I get why they left Bombadil out too,
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
he basically neuters the ring as a threat for a while, because he picks it up and juggles it.
yeah. And in my humble opinion, he is unfilmable. I can't imagine how you could do Bombadil without making him look like a clown, and he's not a clown. But for one thing, what you just said, Steve, but just in general, the way he is, it's just it wouldn't work. Salty Traveling Sea says, I cannot imagine watching season 2 of Rings of Prime. I dropped out after season 1, episode 5, uttering complete trash in every possible conceivable way. Wheel of Time season 1 was a garbage joke. Season 2 was a willful, intentional mutilation. I just can't even imagine. And isn't this interesting? Because both of these works are done by very devout Christians. Now, Tolkien had his Catholic faith woven within the work. He explicitly said so. I don't believe that Jordan has said so, but
Jordan's work is a bit inspired by Norse mythology, same as George Martin.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. But they were definitely both men of God. I mean, he was a very devout Christian. He was of the Episcopalian tradition. So you've got two men that really were religious and sincere in their convictions and in their faith, who really wrote good and evil very well. Now, I did remember Robert Jordan when I was researching my essay on him, my video essay, that he did say that there is good and there is evil, and that's why he liked fantasy, because you really could show it in a way that's perhaps not as easy in the real world. But isn't that I'm just saying that, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And the fact that they don't have respect for Norse mythology either, for that matter, or any mythology, any great mythology. You've read the whole Wheel of Time series twice. Yeah, you've read it a few times, haven't you, Steve?
Um, I'm working on my fourth.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no. Well, I mean, and Surpass
Well,
maybe
actually,
isn't.
you know what? That's probably not true, because I've read the whole series twice. But back in the day when I was waiting for the next book, me and a hell of a lot of other fans were rereading everything up until then, right?
Yeah,
So we were rereading as we were waiting. Um, so I've read all of it twice. Um, some technically working on my third time. But the earlier books I probably read. Well, book one I probably read 10 times.
hmm. Wow. Well, there you go. Yeah, and hiking. I mean, yeah, surpass maybe is not the right word, because I mean, it's different. It's apples and oranges, and I don't think that Stieg was in any way trying to say anything about Tolkien. I mean, it's
No,
yeah,
it's different. But just saying that when it comes to amount of lore, uh, Tolkien isn't the one that has the most. You know, he probably he might have the best. You know, but if you think about it, what Tolkien, what was the Hobbit, the Silmarillion, and the Lord of the Rings, right? And I guess toss Unfinished Tales in there. If you combine them, it's not even half of the Wheel of Time
yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of pages.
Yeah, he was talking in terms of numbers and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I was talking numbers, vastness, if you will.
Yeah, yeah,
But Tolkien did his lore perfectly,
yeah,
which is why everyone looks up to him.
yep. Salty Traveling Sea, please hit that like. Oh, well, thank you for the magnificent Stieg and Ms. Martin. Oh, well, hello there. Hello there, Adigo Outlaw. Okay, good evening. Yes, funny thing is, it took me 4 times before I got into Eye of the World and then completed. And wow, wow, interesting. Okay, no, I know he meant scale. There's also 12 volumes of the history in there. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I mean, it's we they're both vast, they're both great, and I think that everyone agrees that Tolkien is king. All right, doesn't Discworld have them beat? I
Good
I don't know.
question, because this world is that very lore heavy though.
Yeah.
But there's a hell of a lot of books. This world is Terry Pratchett, by the way. Um,
Yeah. Okay. I'm not even
yeah,
sure what that is.
it's a good question, and then you have stuff like Forgotten Realms and Dragonlance, but they're not created by one or two people, right? Oh, or rather, it's created by Weiss and Hickman, Dragonlance, but others added to it. You know, so
Yeah.
it's not a solo project. But then you have Raymond Feist, which is 26 books.
Uh, just from
Um,
the main thing. Um,
yeah, and Terry Brooks, that's over 40 books now for the genre. So
yeah.
I don't know, but those aren't that lore heavy either at all. Robert Jordan's actually way more lore heavy than Terry Brooks is.
Yeah. Well, like I said, each of them have their own things. I think that you're making it clear that you're talking about, you know,
Yeah,
Jordan's accomplishment.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, Eye of the World is such a tentatively, carefully written book. It shows and feels like Jordan wasn't sure his own voice in the world. That changed completely in TGH. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, everything's agreeing.
It was actually supposed to be I think it was supposed to be 5 books, and then it grew.
Huh? Well, there we go. Alrighty, well, let's get off of this is just one movie I was highlighting. This is going to be odd. This is going to be a little bit of a shift, but The next movie I had was Anchorman.
Yeah,
Oh,
you hadn't seen this before.
no, I had not.
Well, now you know.
Yes. Now, this movie made me laugh. I mean, I laughed and I laughed and laughed. Now, the only part that upset me was when I thought, well, I don't know if it's a spoiler. Hasn't everyone kind of seen it at this point? Oh, never seen it. Hello, Sean Sue. Hello. And hello, Adega Outlaw. Never saw it. Yes. The the dog. If you know, you know. But it this movie just put a smile on my face, and the second one too. Though I think the first one's better. The first one's definitely better, but the second one is pretty freaking hilarious. Um, and I just really, really enjoyed it, and just had a lot of fun, and it made me have a good, lovely feeling. I'm off to bed, says the High King Fainer. Well, thank you, and you keep those Cimarrols safe, and don't, guard them a little better next time, or whatever, and don't make any more oaths. I'm not concerned about spoilers. Okay, yeah, I heard about it, never saw it. I would recommend it. And the second one has Harrison Ford as a cameo. Actually, it has just about the whole planet as a cameo. Yes, The Legend of Broadway. Actually, the only good Will Ferrell movie. I would argue Talladega Nights is also a good one. But I thought felt a lot of the beats, especially from Anchorman 2, were very, very similar. Funny, but not sure Anchorman would survive a rewatch.
Well, it's retarded on purpose, you know. Uh, but sometimes you need that,
Mhm.
something completely dumb, and I think it does that job quite well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I
It's
think two movies is enough though,
yeah.
and that
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, see, Tierra de mi Padre. Oh, yeah, that was a. That just reminds me of one of the. He's like, San Diego. No one knows what it means. And she's like, yes, we do know what it means. He's just very, very stupid. And
when
just
in
the whole
Rome.
cast was great. Hey, this is one that you've been rewatching lately, or you rewatched rather lately. The
Oh,
Blade
yeah,
Runner.
yeah. Um, Probably, if I had to make a top 10 list, that would probably be on it.
Yeah.
Very, it's a philosophical noir detective movie set in the future, and it seems to be a future that's a little bit possible now because it got a few things right. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Tears
But
in the Rain.
yeah, great cast. Rutger Hauer's amazing in it. Harrison Ford's very good. All kinds of 80s names in it as well. Um, yeah, Ridley Scott nailed it with this, and I think the sequel that came out a few years ago, while it wasn't as good as the first one, it also didn't do any harm. It didn't screw up the movie that came before, like what tends to happen these days with Jake Skywalker, what have you.
Yep.
So this, yeah, the the sequel did it well.
Oh, well, there you are. And I'm glad you said this, Salty Traveling. It's almost as though you read my mind. Yes. Perfection. This and The Thing, the ultimate double feature dude movie night.
Yeah,
Yeah. And the reason why I said
I
that is. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I would not disagree with that.
No. Wait, I'm going to come back to this because, speaking of which, this is one of the things I had on here because I've watched this for the first time. For the first time over Christmas break, I believe, or shortly thereafter, with the family. My brother in law was horrified that I hadn't watched it, and
Yeah,
now I have
seriously, Teresa hadn't watched the thing before. Have at her.
yeah, I know you were judging me too for it. Well, you were the one who got me to watch it, and I was like, "Hey, let's watch the thing." The ending. Oh my gosh! And this was another thing because I'm the thing for the thing. I'm watching this, and they're sitting there looking at each other in the fire after everything's all blown up, and it's like fading away. They're panning away, and I said to my brother-in-law, "I'm like, this isn't the end, is it?" And he just had this grin on his face, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And that's how I ended up for the evening going down a rabbit hole of all the theories about what happened. Oh, it's
Yeah,
insane.
it's. I'll tell you one thing. That Norwegian guy at the beginning, he was not a Norwegian actor. He was talking gibberish.
Kind of like when I try to say things in Norwegian.
Yeah, it was, well, the grammar was off too. It was just Google Translate gibberish.
Yeah.
The X Files did an episode inspired by the thing. Yeah, they did it quite well. And I noticed because I watched the prequel, the unnecessary prequel to the thing, which you should avoid.
Mm.
I watched it last week, I think it was, or the week before, and they ripped off some stuff from the X Files episode.
Well, how dare they? Because, I mean, come on, the X Files.
Yeah,
Yeah, you need to leave those alone. Salty's asking me how creeped out was I by the dog alien scene. Oh gosh. Uh, First of all, doggy. I mean, gosh, so bastard. You don't mess with dogs. It was awful. It was very disturbing. And yes, it was all incredibly creepy. Oh. So some people have said in the chat they have not seen it. So I'm not going to say what the ending is. Uh, so
yeah.
you can enjoy it yourself.
Basically, yeah. Watch it if you haven't seen it. You're in for a good time, definitely. Especially if you like movies like Alien. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, there you are. And didn't you say that the Hateful Eight was
Yeah,
a
the
tribute
Hateful
to?
Eight is inspired by the
Mm-hmm.
thing a bit with the isolation and who can you trust thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but it's not a remake. You know,
Huh? Well, there you have it.
which and both feature Kurt Russell.
Yay, we love Kurt Russell. Yeah, so The Thing. That was something that I was really glad I watched. And if you haven't, go watch it.
Definitely a classic, and and a big fat lesson in why practical effects are better than CGI,
Mm,
because the practical effects in this movie is kind of like its heart and soul, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, and they were terrifying. They were absolutely terrifying. And yes, the best beard ever. He did have the best beard ever. Now, this one is Steeg's The Crow.
Yeah, hadn't seen it in ages, so I rewatched it. It's it's awesome.
Hmm? Well, there you have it.
It's almost like a gothic fairy tale, uh, in a way. Guy and his girlfriend gets killed. Guy comes back. I think it was a year later or something, and decides to. Well, he's back to take revenge, basically, on people who killed him and his girlfriend.
And this is one with the tragic death, right?
Yeah, Brandon Lee, which is Bruce Lee's son actually, died in the scene where they're shooting at him when he's standing on the table. Like a little metal splinter from one of the blanks hit him, and it hit his spine or something. So it was like 1 in 1 million. In addition to the fact that the accident happened in the first place. So yeah, really freak accident.
Horrible tragedy. And that's why when
Oh,
another.
Ernie Hudson is great in it. Great in it. Plays his cop friend.
Oh, we love
Uh,
Ernie Hudson.
Michael Wincott is superb as the villain. Um, what else is in it? David Patrick Kelly, who was in a lot of stuff. You know, like Commando, the guy Arnold drops from the cliff.
Oh, yeah, the best line ever.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah, everyone's talking about they're doing a remake, which.
yeah. Oh, holy crap! Though the guy who plays the crow is a fucking Swede. He he looks like Jared Leto's the Joker from the Suicide Squad movie. It just looks weird.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah. Oh, Bai Ling was going to play a female Dark Jedi in Revenge of the Sith, uh, most likely Ventress, but she had done Playboy right before or something, so George Lucas cut it from from the script, which is why Ventress doesn't have an ending in the Lucas era Star Wars.
so moral of the story: don't
Yeah,
be in Playboy if you want to be in Star Wars.
yeah, we could have had Ventress, and because in the novels and the comics, she doesn't die
Mm.
because they were told not to kill her off, and then Lucas rewrote the script a bit,
Well, you
and
heard it
she
here.
would have been awesome as a Dark Jedi.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Damn it. All right. Oh, with the thing, we had that one. Willow.
Yeah, I rewatched Willow for the first time in 15 years.
Hmm?
It holds up.
Yep, it's
Some of
fun.
the effects don't hold up, but yeah, this is just like a fun fantasy story.
Hmm.
Very straightforward. No real twists in it, you know. But uh, superb to watch when you're a kid. Because I remember watching this when I was a kid, and my sister loved it. And me being the older brother, I had to watch it with her because she was like, "Yeah, no, I need to watch it with you." We
Mm-hmm.
probably watched it 50 times because she could not get enough of it.
Yeah, it was fun. I saw it, what, twice in the cinema, and it was cute. And loved Val Kilmer. That
Oh,
was the
he was
first thing I'd.
excellent in it.
Yeah.
And you know the lady, Joanna Wally,
Mm-hmm.
who became his wife for a while in real life, she was excellent too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the first thing I'd seen her in. So I think actually that was maybe the one that put her on the map. Yeah, well liked in the family. Yes, and we don't really talk too much about uh, the Disney Plus sequel because it takes a lot of talent to be so bad that even Disney takes it down from their own
Yeah,
website.
yeah, they actually took the Willow show off Disney Plus and wrote it off on their taxes because it was so bad and the views were terrible. And well, what do you think you're going to get though when the showrunner says that yeah, the forefront of at the forefront of this story, it's going to be an LGBTQ relationship, and people are like, well, we wanted a sequel to Willow, we, you know,
Yeah, and
not that
they
there's anything wrong with gay relationships or anything like that, but then make a show about that then, instead of merging it with Willow. You know,
Well, and can you imagine that you get all the old cast back, including
they did not get Val Kilmer though, because he can't speak properly.
well, yeah,
But yeah,
but you know what? Yeah, I was about to say, I'll buy it, or is that how you pronounce it? But and then to totally miss the
yeah,
mark.
and a sequel show to Willow had a hell of a lot of potential.
Yes.
They could have fleshed it out, expanded the world, added new characters. Well, they did, but they did it poorly. You know,
Hmm.
uh, and this
Yep.
is what I was talking about with the Wheel of Time stuff, right? Since
Yep.
they're fucking it up now, it's going to be decades until someone else even dares to try it.
Yeah.
And Disney owns Willow now. Nobody's going to make a TV show based on this anymore because Disney's already canned it. You
Yeah.
know, Disney's not going to make another Willow show.
No. And since they've done what they've done, technically that's their canon of it. So, oh gosh, such a
Yeah.
mess.
So it's Willow is dead.
Yeah. Well,
Seriously.
yeah.
But
Or
you know how they ignore stuff George Lucas wrote for Star Wars and stuff?
hmm
They did the same with Willow because him and Chris, who I forget his name. He used to write X-Men comics.
hmm
Chris Claremont, George Lucas and Chris Claremont wrote a trilogy of books as a sequel to Willow. So they could have adapted those. I hear they're terrible though, but
yeah.
still, you know,
They
the
could have used it as a blueprint.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they just ignored it, and because we're so talented, we can do our own thing. Well, look what happened. And you know what else? Even if even if the show is shit, the show still had fans,
hmm
right? There were people out there that loved it, and for Disney to actually remove it so they can't ever see it again, that's pissing on the few fans they had. It
Yeah.
really is.
Totally lose-lose situation.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's salty traveling. They'll blame Willow, Witcher, Halo, Wheel of Time source material for the failures of their interpretations of the modern for a modern audience. Narcissists never ever accept responsibility for their actions. No, they do
yeah.
not. And shout out, I've done lots of some live streams about that. So if you
You know what? Um, I have the perfect example of someone who did it right. Shane Black, who wrote the original Predator, he was in it. It was the first to get killed. He did The Predator, which is the fourth movie, which sucked. It was dreadful. And you know what he did when he got shit for it? He did a video and said, "I'm sorry. It all
Mhm.
sounded good in my head when I was writing it, and it turns out it wasn't good." So he just apologized. He said it's my fault.
Yeah.
So definitely not a narcissist there. Didn't blame the fans for not liking a diverse cast or what have you or anything. He just said sorry. It sounded good in my head. It didn't end up well.
Yep.
I respected the hell out of that.
Yep.
You know?
Nope. You're right. I mean, everyone will like that. Um Adika Outlaw is bringing up Dragon Slayer, and I the only fan. Well, no, you're not, because I
No,
think Steve likes it.
I like it. Dragon Slayer is awesome. It's a standalone fantasy story. Uh, Sorcerer apprentice has to kill a dragon. He gets cocky and all that stuff, and there's a twist at the end. The dragon, except for when it's flying, looks amazing, and I think it won an Oscar for special effects. Because
Yep.
when he's fighting the dragon, when he's on his feet, it looks awesome. It looks great, and the dragon is intimidating as hell. But when he's flying, you see him flying in the distance, he looks like a paper airplane. Not yeah, but yeah, Dragon Slayer. If you know what, if you watch Dragon Slayer and Willow, that'll make for a good fitting double feature.
Oh, sounds good to me. You've been trying to get me to see Dragon Slayer, so
Yeah, well, Dragon Slayer is not like a Lord of the Rings classic.
nah.
It's not,
I
but it's a very good fantasy movie, and the dragon looks great. Actually, to
mhm.
be honest, I thought the dragon looked better than Smaug in Hobbit.
Mm. Well, that's high praise indeed. Yeah, Shansu is
Yeah,
actually is for the
you know
time.
the best looking dragons on screen to this date is from Reign of Fire with Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey.
Hmm. That's one you're also supposed to watch.
Yeah, early 2000s movie. The dragons are perfect in it.
Yeah. Yeah, Salty Traveling is saying that they're trumpeting that they've re-signed those idiots Payne and McKay. Yeah, Payne and McKay, they're like the new Dan and Dave, Benahoff, oh sorry, Benahoff and Weiss. I mean, it's just like really.
Yeah.
Uh, yep. And Adiga Atlas says yes in the fire pit.
Yes.
That dragon was great.
Yes. That's the scene I'm talking about. The fire pit scene. It was an 11 out of 10.
Mm,
And the build up too was great. There was like tension till you knew the dragon was coming, and then yeah,
yep. Nope. You got it. All right. Oh, I don't think there's much to be said about these. Talk about
well,
darn
you
near
know,
perfection.
yeah, because I watched these this last week, but
Hmm.
I watched the despecialized versions, so they don't have Han shot second or anything. All the CGI extras from the special editions are gone. So this is the closest you'll get to the original VHS versions or the cinematic versions as well, if you like.
Yep.
So this was the real original deal that I watched, and it was fun. You didn't have that dumbass Pixar looking alien doing the singing number at Jabba's place,
Hmm.
and yeah, this was the versions I grew up with when I was a kid. So I had a blast just watching the original versions. You can only get them online
Yeah.
through Jack Sparrow means, but
Yes. Yeah.
it was
Or if
worth
you
it.
still
And
or if you still
it's
have the
not,
VHSs.
yeah, uh, but good luck finding a VHS player
I
if,
still
if
have.
yours is, yeah, but when it breaks, right?
Oh well, mine's not allowed to break.
Yeah, and then you need a TV that can handle a VHS player now too, because of the
That's
plug that goes into the TV. That
that's.
plug's not there anymore.
Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh, we're doomed.
Yeah, but this is probably what I'm going to watch whenever I rewatch these movies. It's the
Hmm.
despecialized version. It's a guy from the Czech Republic, I think, that did it.
Yep. Michael's Asylum recommends Galaxy Quest. I agree. Was a perfect love letter to a fandom with a great story. Yes, and I like the way it kind of
Yes.
started off with them not appreciating what it really meant, and then they did by the end. And then oh, that was such a good movie. Ah, yeah, Galaxy Quest. Yeah, definitely watch Galaxy Quest. If you haven't, it'll
Oh,
put a smile on your face.
it's actually coming up on my list of stuff to rewatch because I probably haven't. I don't think I've seen that one in a decade either.
Oh, there you
So
go. Yay. All right. Transformers.
yeah, I've been rewatching those. Three was better than two. I'll give it that much. But They're definitely their own thing. You know, the live action movies. I think if you just want to see what they're like, watch the first one and leave it at that.
Okay.
Because the first one's kind of fun, and it's not like they're horrible. Well, 4 and 5 are horrible, but 1, 2, and 3 are watchable. Well, the first one's kind of like a 7 out of 10, maybe. But I'm sticking to the original cartoon and Transformers the movie from '86, which that movie nailed it.
Hmm.
It really did. But this one, 5 or a 6 out of 10,
Oh,
maybe.
oh, okay. Maybe I should have put that up for the picture then, the cartoon. Mea culpa.
Oh no, well, I haven't watched the cartoon lately, so. But
All
yeah,
right.
but as a shut your brain off special effects movie, by all means, But yeah, I'd say watch the first one and just if you want to watch more, keep watching. You know.
Mm. And look who's here. It is Trey Grifter Courtney saying hello and saying, "What up, Stieg?" Um, oh, Sigourney is hot in Galaxy Quest, though, says Hound.
Yep.
Yes, and everyone's bingo. Yeah, and everyone's talking about converters. Bay Formers is just one movie to me. Oh, and- okay.
Oh, I agree with Michael in the chat. It says Bumblebee was okay, and Haley Steinfeld did a great job in it. I agree.
Okay. Oh, there we are. Alrighty.
I'd say the first Transformers movie is slightly better than Bumblebee in second place, but both of them are way above the rest. And the new one they released was just dumb. You couldn't even stick to the previous ones, so it basically messed up canon, or rather the movie canon.
Yeah, Lincoln Park carried those movies, he says. Okay. Well, there we are. All right, let's move on. Beast Wars was horror bad. Okay, yeah. Yes, this is a territory I do
Yeah, it
not.
was. I had to force myself to watch it because I actually gave up, and one of the Autobots when they're attacked by the Decepticons and stuff, he goes, "They can fly now." I'm
Oh
like,
no.
"Yeah, they could fly when you were back on Cybertron too, sir. This isn't new." So yeah, they basically, it was like the Rise of Skywalker, wasn't it? They can fly now.
Oh
Like, yeah, they have jetpacks.
yeah. And the latest one, I
Oh,
maybe
that
they
was Rise of the Beasts. That
or the
was,
Beast.
yeah, that was like a close to a 1 out of 10, I'd say. It was that bad.
My goodness. Well, alrighty. And then let's see what else. I think this is the last one. Yes. Don't hunt what you can't kill. Hard target.
Yeah, fun movie. I rewatched it because I was watching a bunch of action movies, and that one came up, so rewatched it. And well, you watched it. What was it, last year?
Yes, I did for the first time.
Yeah, one of Van Damme's better ones. Lance Henriksen though steals the show.
Yeah. Yeah, he did great. He was playing piano and everything.
Yeah,
Oh, do it, Trey.
he
We'll review.
he uh,
Yes.
he, he caught fire in one of the scenes too, and it just, instead of screaming or something, he just roars with rage.
Okay. What what part of him got set on fire?
No, it was in the movie. The character caught fire, right?
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, never mind. I'm thinking, oh, gee whiz. See,
Yeah, well,
like I said,
Lance Henriksen owned in this movie.
oh yeah, And Von Damme, I mean, I appreciated his skills, his fighting skills. I like Van Damme's time cup, though, says Hound. 3,000? Well,
Yeah.
here.
Well, basically, Van Damme's never going to be a great actor, but for a movie like this, you have to be a good action actor, which he
True.
did splendidly. Because physical acting is a thing too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Harrison Ford has perfected the art of looking like he's actually being punched.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Yeah, every time Harrison Ford is punched in the Indiana Jones movies or something, it looks real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when Marion punches him, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it
he
looks
gets.
it looks like it connects hard. The only one I've seen um, that does that just as well is Nathan Fillion.
Hmm.
When he gets punched in the movie, it looks like he's punched for real as well.
Yeah. Michael the Sound says he let Gary Oldman really hit him in Air Force One. Hmm.
He punched Ryan Gosling in the new Blade Runner movie
Huh.
by accident. He just punched him
Oops.
in a fight scene. Uh, oh, and Harrison Ford was the one who gave Sean Bean a scar in Patriot games. Right, they're fighting in a boat, and Harrison Ford hit him with a boat hook.
Oh my gosh.
So he still has a scar, and it's on his chin or something. And Sean Bean was asked about it, and he said it was fine because he got a scar from Indiana Jones, so it's all good.
Oh gee.
Yeah, but yeah, he whacked him with a boat hook.
Poor dude. Well, because actors, that actually is a big deal. You don't want to get your face marked up, but Sean Bean can get away with it because of the kind of roles he plays. Um, Double Impact says the Grifter.
Yeah, that one's fun. There's Van Damme playing twins.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And yeah, and they have to team up and take down the bad guys. Rather straightforward, but fun.
My gosh. Well, probably action figures. Action films are my weakest link, if you will, because I don't watch a lot of them. I mean, I saw the classics back in the day, but yeah, so um
It's I think action movies kind of get a little bit of a bad rep by the serious people, right?
mhm.
But a hell of a lot of action movies have a great story to tell. You know, Terminator 1 and 2, that's a great story.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, superb. Die Hard.
Yeah. And Lethal Weapon, which, in my opinion, that's four movies with no bad entry.
No.
Four is probably the weakest, but four is not bad. That's not a
No.
bad movie.
Predator. Yes.
Yeah, I rewatched that one not too long ago either. Well, as well, but it holds up. Really holds up. And
And I've got to watch the second one because, well, Predator stories showing up in our game, our 80s role playing game. So I need to brush up.
yeah, well, imagine watching Predator 1, uh, going in blind. You have no idea there's an alien in the forest.
Man.
That would be freaking amazing.
Yeah. Genie Mac. Yes.
Yeah.
My fourth favorite film of the year.
Oh, he's correcting himself. Wow.
Oh, fourth favorite film ever. Oh, okay. Because I was thinking film of the year. All right. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Well,
Well, well,
that's high praise.
it's rewatchable as heck, you know.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of actors in there that weren't really actors at all. Arguably the best actor in the movie is probably Bill Duke, right?
Yeah.
But what they did was they just gave the other ones badass one-liners.
So that's why they have all the
Yeah,
one-liners, because they
yeah.
couldn't do
So
much more than that.
yeah, they didn't require anything else of them. Just look badass and deliver one-liners, and it works as hell. You know.
Yeah.
The second one, you have way more trained actors, and and the characters in that one have way more dialogue than the ones in the first one. Second one has Bill Paxton in it.
Oh, may he rest in peace.
Danny Glover's in it. Robert Davi has a small role. Gary Busey, who was actually a very good actor. Gary
Mm.
Busey in the 80s and 90s was great, and then he had his motorcycle accident. It's been off ever since. But
Don't ride
did
motorcycles, people.
didn't he get nominated or won an Oscar for the Buddy Holly movie?
I I honestly don't know.
I think maybe he did because he Gary Busey played Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly, when was? See, I'm trying to think. Everybody, Google. Hello,
Oh,
Jeff Hill.
speaking of Gary Busey, I saw an interview with him when he was in Predator 2.
Hmm.
Gary Busey explained why Arnold's not in it because Gary Busey had read the novels.
Oh,
He had done the whole, yeah, because Arnold's not in the second one because Busey's character had, kind of captured him and interrogated him and stuff, and Arnold had run away. So Gary Busey's character is looking for Arnold's character, but then the stuff in Predator 2 happens. So Busey was on point, and he also explained in detail what would happen to a city block or a part of the city if the Predator bomb goes off in it. Exactly what would happen to the human bodies if they got hit by that stuff. And he knew everything. And I'm thinking, why can't actors in Hollywood do the same? I mean, the only one who did it was Henry Cavill
yeah,
because he invested time and understanding into the source material of The Witcher and
yeah.
got mocked for it.
Oh,
You
I know.
know,
It's just a disgrace.
yeah. But so much respect for Gary Busey. He had gone all in and understood at every nook and cranny of the script and the lore of the movie, everything.
Yeah. Can you? I'm just trying to imagine, like when they were doing Lord of the Rings. Can you imagine if someone tried to make fun of Christopher Lee? I mean, not that Henry Cavill is Christopher Lee, but it's just
No,
so disrespectful.
but he had the same attitude towards the source material.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know about this. Ancient One says, had Van Damme not had drug issues in the past, he would have been brought up in the Expendables.
Yeah, probably. But well, he is in the second one as the villain.
Hmm.
But yeah, Van Damme. He someone said he was what was it? He was spending 20,000 a week or a month on cocaine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think so. So he was hooked.
Yeah, that'll do it. Um, Trey Grifter says Terminator 2 is also why Arnold didn't come back. Oh, well, that's a good reason.
Yeah, couldn't be in it schedule. He basically had to pick Predator 2 or Terminator 2. So he went with James Cameron,
Yeah.
which was, you know,
It was a good bet because
yeah,
Terminator 2 was like the biggest movie of all time, wasn't it, for a while? I
yeah.
think that, yeah.
When it came out, it was the biggest movie of all time. I think maybe Jurassic Park knocked it off its perch. I'm not sure. But then after that, it was Titanic.
Yeah.
which was also
Nope.
James Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron beat Cameron.
Yep. And then he
Ultimately
beat
finally.
Titanic. And then he beat Titanic with Avatar. So the guy has I don't know. This, I didn't like Avatar that much. I didn't hate it, but so I was surprised when it did as well as it did. Uh, but I mean, hats off to the guy though.
Yeah. No. I mean, you cannot fault him at all. Don't bet against that man. That's all I got to say. Do not bet against that man.
Yeah, he also did Aliens, um,
Yeah.
which isn't a bad movie.
The Abyss.
Yeah, The Abyss, which
Yeah.
is the precursor to the T-1000. But when you see that water person effect that they have in it, that's how they got the idea and the know-how to make the T-1000 in Terminator 2.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ancient One says, in fact, had the Mortal Kombat film featured Van Damme as Johnny Cage, I can see said film make even more money.
Yes. Van Damme was a bankable name back then. Yeah, Danny Glover works in Predator 2. I fully agree. And I applaud them for trying something new instead of just sending new people, new buff guys down into the jungle. They have a bit more of a personal story set in a city.
Yeah.
So a concrete jungle. I think that was the idea behind it.
No, I think that's clever because, who wants to do the same thing over and over again?
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Tim Scott. Thanks for being here. Chuck Norris versus Van Damme Go. Oh, well, I told you, there's a reason I get cranky about these kind of comparisons.
Well, here's the
There.
thing. Chuck Norris trained Van Damme for a while.
Yeah.
Uh, when Van Damme was starting in Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't, Chuck Norris is his own special form of epic.
Yeah, he's a he's a force of nature.
Yes. Oh dear, I love all the memes with him. It's funny. So yeah, so hard target, and I won't even talk about all the dirty jokes that can go along with that. But so these are recent movies that we have watched, and some old ones, and of course, it's great to see everyone.
Well, I've been saying this for a while. We we have all this shit coming out of Hollywood now, and it is shit. You know, movies that would be considered subpar back in the day is being hailed as good because we're so starved for the actually good stuff,
Yeah,
right? So the bar has been lowered so much that something that would be a 2 out of 10 20 years ago is now like a 7 out of 10, right?
yeah,
So if you if you haven't seen a movie in 20 30 years, it's almost like you're watching it for the first time again, right?
yes,
And there's also so many movies from the 80s and 90s, what have you, that people haven't watched yet for whatever reason. They never got around to it, or you know, they
yeah,
watched something else at the time. So go back and watch the good stuff, because if you haven't seen it before anyway, it counts as new content for you, doesn't it?
yes.
I'm,
Well,
I mean, I've never seen the Dune movie from '84, and I got stick for it, rightfully so. And Red Dawn, haven't seen those movies at all ever. So I'm gonna watch them soon, and that'll be, hey, first time watching,
yeah,
brand new experience. And most likely, I'm gonna really like both of them. So go back, go back. Go on IMDb and look at movies released in 1985 or something, and see if if it has something you'd missed or you really want to give a chance, and boom, you have new content.
Yeah. Well, I've found too that by rewatching these movies now, maybe ones I haven't even seen since the 80s or the 90s, we were kids back then. So we were watching them with the eyes of children and teenagers. So as an adult going back, it really is like seeing it literally for the first time because our life experiences change the way we view it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I watched Jurassic Park in the cinema when it came out.
mhm.
Imagine what a wow experience that was,
Oh, yeah.
because those dinosaurs look real.
Yeah, it was terrifying. That
Yeah,
T-Rex.
you, you know what scared the hell out of the? Because I think I watched it twice actually, and it's the goat scene.
Oh
That's
gosh.
what made everyone in the cinema scream.
Yes, cuz
It's a hell of a jump scare.
yeah. And all it was the goat just was there 1 minute and then the
Yeah, and then
next it's
the
gone.
leg lands on the roof or something.
Oh, that goat. Oh, okay. Yeah, that part of the goat too. Yes. Oh gosh. Damn it. Oh, that was so terrible. I pretty much only watch old stuff. Yes.
Yeah, me
Red.
yeah, me too. Now I actually have a huge backlog of new movies. I haven't even gotten around to watching yet. And some of it's probably going to be good because there's the Equalizer 3 with Denzel. The first two were awesome, so I have that one in the backlog, and the newest Mission Impossible that I haven't seen yet. So there's some stuff.
Hmm, well, there you are. And Salty Traveling Sea says Red Dawn is my Gen X spirit animal. Mhm. So you got to watch it, Steve. Trey Grifter Courtney watching Police Academy tomorrow. Yay.
Yeah, fun
He'll,
one.
yeah, very silly, but very good. Yeah, the feels. Red Dawn got all the feels. Swayze and Sheen. My gosh.
Oh, Salty, if you haven't seen, and that goes for Trey and everyone else too. Watch a movie called Youngblood. It's a hockey high school-ish comedy.
With Rob Lowe?
Yeah, and Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves is in it, I think.
Oh,
It's a hockey team. So sports, fun sports movies.
cool. Yeah, Patrick Swayze gone too soon. Corey Cochran says most movies I own are from the 40s to 2010s. Yeah, not bad at all.
Same here. Uh, Definitely.
Excellent soundtrack. Yes, he knows Youngblood, says Salty Traveling Sea. Excellent soundtrack. Same with Vision Quest.
Vision
Nice.
Quest I haven't seen.
Yeah. I think since we're slightly, not too much older than you, Steve, but there is a difference between being the teenager versus the 9-year-old back in the day when some of those
Well,
came out.
well, that assumes you watched them exactly when they came out, which
That's true.
certainly wasn't the case for me because Norway only had one fucking TV channel, and they were showing movies on Saturday night. That's it. So you got one movie per week of the year, and not all of them were American movies. There was all kinds of European ones too. But so we had to rent movies, or you recorded movies from the TV, right, onto
Hmm.
VHS, or copied them, because that was possible too. You just had to take your VHS over to a friend's place and play the movie on one of them and record with the other, right?
I remember doing that.
Yeah. So movies, access to movies was way more limited back then.
Yeah. You had to work
If a
for
friend,
it.
yeah, if a friend got a new movie or two, all the friends would like borrow it in turn,
Mm.
you know. So, but I think in a situation like that, you appreciate movies more.
Hmm.
You'll be way more forgiving of the flaws if you only get to watch like 10 new movies a year or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So, uh, which gives you a stronger sense of nostalgia for certain movies. Because if you only have 10 movies, you're going to rewatch them. Because when you're a
Yeah.
kid and want to watch a movie, you'll watch anything, right? Over and over
Yeah.
and over again.
Oh, and we did over and over and over again. Um, the Cutting Edge, says Michael Zasam. Yes, of course, I know this one. It's a great movie, 1991, I think, or around that area. He says that great actor, extremely well written, has a good drama and comedy too. Yes, it is about figure skating in the Olympics, and it is a hockey player who becomes a figure skating dancer guy, and they fall in love. It's great, very romantic and very funny.
Oh, um, another fun one from the 80s is Thrashing. Picture Karate Kid, but with skateboards, starring Josh Brolin. And
Yeah,
there's a
you
skateboard gang in town too, like bad guys. And the whole town seems focused on skateboards. That's the main sport in the town. So awesome stuff. It's got Tony Hawk in it.
yeah, you got me to watch that one. I I think you liked it better than I did, but that's okay.
Yeah,
It's fun.
it's 80s as hell. It
Yeah.
even has a date montage,
So
you know, which is
yes.
something very 80s, isn't it?
Yes, which immortalized in Karate Kid and given homage to in Cobra Kai.
Yep.
Celtic Traveling Sea highly recommends the whole run of 1940s, the Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce Sherlock Holmes movies. Mm-hmm.
I have them. Have the whole damn thing. I've only watched one of them yet, but I was impressed. It was all kinds of awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of people give 40s movies, a skip because they're old, but no, they're they're damn good. There's so many good movies from the 40s. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's insane. No, they're amazing. Well, think about it. Movies like Casablanca. Laurence Olivier was making all his stuff then. Uh, gosh, just good, 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 good.
Was Citizen Kane in the 40s or was that 50s?
No, it was in the late 40s. Yes.
Yeah,
So the Citizen Kane. Yeah, I agree. Corey Cochran, a movie that was a 4 to 6 star in the 80s and 90s, is a 9 to 12 star now.
yeah.
Mhm.
I I, I completely agree because the bar has been lowered so much.
Yeah, Vision Quest has a very young Matthew Modine as a collegiate wrestler. Hmm. Oh, do you know this movie from Norway, 2015, The Wave?
Yeah, it actually has a sequel called The Quake. Came out a few years later. But yeah, it's basically a tidal wave in one of the fjords in Norway. A piece of the
Hmm.
mountain falls off and lands in the fjord. Yeah, it's not bad. And check out Dead Snow 1 and 2 as well. The Nazi zombie movies. Kind of like
Hmm.
Evil Dead in tone, or other Evil Dead 2 in tone. I think Trey reviewed them and he liked them. And I know Trina and Vinny and Tommy uh, watched them as well, and they had a blast.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, there's not that many good Norwegian movies really. But
Well, The Wave. So you heard it here first.
yeah,
Moira, yeah, Moira Kelly and DB Sweeney. Yes, he was a Dish in Lonesome Dove from that movie. They're all talking about Sherlock. Love the soundtrack. Odetta Outlaw says Tony Hawk used to skate at my friend's house. We had a huge half pipe that was filmed for those old skate films. Ooh. Oh, The Treasure of Sierra Madre.
Yeah, I watched that one last year. Mara told me to watch it. Uh,
Yeah.
really liked it.
Gosh, all of those are so good. See.
Oh, here's a good one: A High Road to China with Tom Selleck and Bess Armstrong. It's an adventure movie, kind of like Indiana Jones ish. And watching it, you can tell why Spielberg wanted Tom Selleck to play Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's one I have yet to watch.
Yeah,
Amadeus.
Lady Greymaster gave High Road to China 10 out of 10. She was ranting about it for weeks when she and I did those movie streams, and I got
Yeah.
her to watch it. She was highly impressed.
Yes. Now, is this your first time, Trey Courtney? Trey Grifter Courtney? You keep changing your name on me of watching Amadeus because you're in for a treat. Now, total fiction, understand the story is fiction, but what makes that movie so amazing is it really shows the genius and the beauty of Mozart's music. It also introduced to people why he's so special. So how do I say this? It really revolutionized classical music at the time because it made it very accessible to the people. Oh, yes, your first time. Oh, my gosh. Oh, gosh. I hope you come out a classical connoisseur, sir, because it's amazing the beauty of the Mozart's music comes through in that. And it's hilarious. It's very good, very well acted, Academy Award winning, deserved everything it got. Just realize it's fiction. Salieri and didn't like Mozart. None of those guys liked each other. They were all in competition, but none of the nefarious parts of it. Oh wow, they really love their Sherlock Holmes here. Well, this makes me want to get it out. My gosh. Salieri was a great nemesis. Yes. Oh, and amazingly played. Amazingly played. It well deserved Oscar. The name is escaping me because my brain cells are starting to leave my body. It's getting late, but very, very well done. And the dude who played Mozart, well done as well. You'll come away from it really appreciating everything, frankly, to be honest. I just love it. The Requiem.
I have a question for you in the chat. Did you ever watch The Wraith? It's an 80s movie with Charlie Sheen and Sheldon Fenn. It's a
No.
cheesy, fun revenge ghost story. I guess think of it as The Crow, but with a car.
Interesting.
Yeah, the ghost character, revenge character, uses a car to kill people.
Huh.
Yeah, so yeah, action romance ish.
Okay. That sounds like a pretty good premise. I like getting revenge
What?
on the whole planet because
Yeah,
I
uh, the Wraith and the Tremors was everywhere at video stores back in the day.
I remember seeing Tremors. So, well, I recently 2 years ago actually. Gosh, has it really been that long? Now, Trey Courtney says classical music kind of gave me rock, so I respect it. Yes. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it gave all music. I was it soul Close Encounters of the Soulfage kind. I touch on it a little bit. I still need to make the sequel to it. with the second part of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, but yes, it all
Well,
comes from the same source.
classical music is the closest you'll get to heavy metal, in my opinion.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
I think they're cousins.
Yeah. Well, understand too. It was the heavy metal of the day.
Yeah,
I I mean, women would swoon listening to Beethoven's music for crying out loud. Heaving bosoms. And if you've not heard a full symphony orchestra perform that music, you've not lived. You will understand what it is. Listening to a recording does not do justice to that music, let alone playing it. I played, let's see, Beethoven's Seventh Symphony, and it was like an out of body experience. It unbelievable, unbelievable experience performing a Beethoven symphony live with a full symphony orchestra. Yes, people like Sherilyn Finn. She was
she
actually,
was she was great on Twin Peaks.
yeah, that's what really made her a superstar. Sherilyn Finn was actually the first actor cast as live action Harley Quinn, but she was replaced with Mia Sara, so she never got on the. Oh, I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. I'll
But
have to,
I could see Sherilyn Fenn as Harley Quinn.
yeah. Young one, yeah. Yeah. A lot of people are, y'all know your homes. Maybe we need to do a Sherlock Holmes thing one day, or I need to look into it.
Oh, holy crap! Salty's right. Peter Cushing as Sherlock Holmes in that specific movie, he nailed it. He was fantastic as Sherlock Holmes.
Mm. Oh, okay. Oh, Salty Traveling is trying to cause some trouble here. Classical is better than Baroque. Oh, dear. Well, here's the story with that. It's kind of like what was going on earlier when you try to compare the different fantasy writers. You can't compare because Baroque music was a genius of its own and classical music was a genius of its own. But I know what you're talking about. So maybe.
Eventually, well, everyone can agree on what's truly great. I think,
Mhm.
right? But if you have four or five things that are truly great, it boils down to your appetite, your individual appetites,
Yeah.
right?
And of course, what came first? Because here's the thing, you wouldn't have classical without Baroque. You wouldn't have Baroque without the Renaissance. You wouldn't have the Renaissance without chant and medievalism. You wouldn't have had that without Guido d'Arezzo. So it all builds, and you wouldn't have romantic without classical or modern without classical. So it's all connected. But yes, and oh gosh,
Oh,
Bach. Bach ruined my
Tommy's
life.
Tommy's popped up
Oh,
too.
oh, yep. Hello, Tommy. Thank you for being here and all the support you've given me. He was my first mod back in the day when I was just had a few subs. I had like 30 subs, I think, when we started with.
Tom Tommy's good people, uh,
Mhm.
very honest and straightforward. Excellent, excellent fellow. So go sub to his channel, people, or I'll
Yes,
kill
sub to
you.
him. Yep. And please, everyone, please feel free to put your links in the chat and other people's as well. And it's I have opinions about apples and oranges, but yeah, with classical this kind of music, it's so hard to put into words unless you experience it. Wagner actually inspired a lot of Star Wars music. Well, yes, expired. Love John Williams. However, yes. Now, what Wagner did with opera was really perfect the leitmotif. Then John Williams took the leitmotif and made it in cinema scores in a way that really hadn't been done to that level of perfection. And now we take it for granted that you'll have leitmotifs in music scores, but certainly not. Uh, he was the one. We love you, John Williams. You are the man. Classical music, opera, and metal mix very well. Yes, there's a reason why you'll often find pairings of opera singers and metal and class
Yeah, like in
orchestras.
Nightwish.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fight me. Okay. Listen, since I could barely reach a keyboard, it was Bach, 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 some more Bach, and more Bach, and more Bach.
So what you're saying is I'll be Bach.
I'll be Bach, yeah. But no, I understand. Okay, maybe we need to get deeper into what's going on here. But yes, I will admit I don't like playing Baroque music. Too friggin' hard. Give me some classical. I don't like playing Mozart too often. Mozart is very difficult to play properly. You can play Mozart, but you can't play it properly without a lot of work. It's very stressful. See, wow, everyone's so excited about Tommy. Oh my gosh. Wait, what's week, week, week? I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I love guinea pigs. Oh, I see. It's guinea pig sounds. You wouldn't have had a renaissance without the national warning. Yes, we did have global warming in the Renaissance. There's absolute truth in what he is saying. Wow, look at all this love here. Correction, you wouldn't have had the Renaissance without global warming. Okay, well, that too. Well, it's all connected. Some parts are a bit cringy. Okay, I'm not sure what they're going. I'm brutally honest, which tends to upset some. Uh, oh, wait, we're talking some serious Sherlock Holmes. See, this is what happens when someone mentions classical music. Actually, it was Trey Courtney's fault because he mentioned Amadeus. But yeah,
Yeah, I saw the Conan soundtrack being mentioned. Holy damn, that's a soundtrack.
oh gosh, yeah, hell yeah,
That's supposed to be played loud.
yes, yes, and and yes, Charlie. Well, here's the deal: if you're an organist at a church nowadays, okay, what am I going to do? You look it up. Nowadays, they even download it to their little iPad things. You're minding your own business being Bach. Oh gosh, I got to play at church this Sunday. Guess I better write a friggin' prelude and fugue. And that's why we have so much from him. Love him. Have you watched? Oh, more Sherlock Holmes. Gosh, people really love Sherlock
Actually,
Holmes. This is great.
I actually like the Robert Downey ones. Even though they're completely different from the source material, I still like them.
I'll appreciate them as movies. Yeah, you're almost got me convinced to watch that. I there's just something about it. Have I listened to any Nightwish? Probably not. I'm a horrible person.
They even have a Tolkien song, which has samples from the old Ralph Bakshi Tolkien movie in it.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's hard to describe when you're in a certain mode for music. It's really hard to get out of that. It's like you're on a different plane of existence in a different realm of reality. And I'm very well aware that there's a whole bunch of music out there that I appreciate, but it just was never on my radar. If you want to, here's a shout out. We did do a pub crawl with Lady Balefire, who is also a professional musician. She's a French horn player. We discussed classical music and playing it, and it's very very fascinating. The Crow is my favorite soundtrack. Yeah, and movie soundtracks are gosh, they're just so good, and video game soundtracks as well. All right, kids. Um, Sadly, I'm gonna have to start getting out of this party because I am literally falling asleep, and as you know, I will fall asleep. It will happen in mid sentence, even, especially if I'm talking about Roger Moore. So we need to be careful. Oh my goodness, Adego Atla was a pro sax player long ago. Play in an orchestra or play in a jazz band? Now, I was able to do both, but I jazz is hard. It wasn't my thing. I mean, if I got paid to do a gig doing jazz, I would do it, but I still prefer classical. I'm a purist. All of these great things. Well, I'm so happy that everyone's sharing and loving. And oh, wait, do we say love? Is that too girly? I just realized I'm the only girl here. Maybe we should
Appreciating,
write. What'd you say?
appreciating. Is
Appreciating
that a
what?
good word? Is that a good word instead of love?
Instead of love, appreciating. Could be. Well, bro moments. I mean, everyone's just broing with each other.
Mm.
Maybe that's a better word for it. Love is neither masculine nor feminine. That is true, but you know what I mean. I was starting to get in language that sounded like that tea party that Ancient One wants me and Lady Toriel to have one day. We will. Maybe we will. We'll bring in all the sandwiches and the tea and the hoity-toity things and cucumber sandwiches. Yes, be sure to hit that like button. Thank you. Sheldon Amazing Channel. Well, thank you. You guys are great. Jazz mostly, but played soprano and alto. Do is kind of versatile. Yes. Yeah, that's the territory. Brass woodwinds, not my world. My world is strings. And of course, a lot of. I'm going to go turn into teacher here. The saxophone, if you do not know, everyone, is actually a wind instrument. It is not a brass. Agape love. There we go. Let's get Greek. We get Greek here on Miss Martin Muses because we have very intelligent people. Uh, and so I'm going to go ahead and die. So I want to thank everyone for being here. You all have been amazing, and eventually I'm going to have the big party of the century. Though I want to wait till I get my watch hours for that. I need a few hundred more. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow morning it will update because sometimes it can take as much as a week for the YouTube to register that. But yeah, you all help me with your sharing and being here. It's really fun, and I do enjoy hanging out with you all. And we need to stick together and find good entertainment, for crying out loud. It's there. It's there. Just reach out and grasp it. Oh, I do want to give a very quick shout out to Dragonlance turned 40 today. So, if you haven't read Dragonlance and the like, please go ahead and do so. You will not regret it. Oh my gosh. Um, Thank you, Adega Outlaw, for $10. Boom! Well, thank you. I take booms in whatever form they take. But definitely, thank you for the $10, and I appreciate you. Yeah, everyone, buy his book. Did someone put the link to his book in the chat? Go ahead and do that. And if not, oh wait, is that what it is? Or wait, that's his channel. Thank you very much. No, I was gonna say you better be joking. Yeah, we love Dragonlance here at Miss Smart Muses, and I have Steve to thank for that because listen to the Viking. He will give you very good recommendations. But for that $10 and for all the support, oops, I didn't mean to give you a double rose. You got two roses. Oh my god. Yeah. Good night, everybody. So Steve, where can we find you?
Um, I think on Maura's channel on Wednesday. For a good, what is it? Good,
Bad and the Weird?
weird.
The good,
Yeah,
the
but
fun, and the weird.
yeah, because there's not supposed to be a bad in there. So yeah, the good, the fun, and the weird, where we talk about. Well, it's supposed to be good news and weird news and fun news, but for the most part, it's fucked up news. So that's a eight cent, no, eight Eastern.
8 Eastern, 7 Central.
Yeah, it's a monthly thing, and so Maura and I are having our monthlies.
Oh
Um,
dear.
yeah,
Please don't. I'm trying though.
I don't know. I'm bloody serious.
Oh,
What?
so this is what happens. I'm tired and you're tired. We're stumbling over words. I'm blaming that on tiredness.
No. Anyway, that's So swing by and maybe it'll be fun. Usually quite fun.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Oh, Mara's gonna kill you. I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna tattletale.
Okay.
I know you sound so terrified. All right, and you can find me here, Miss Martin Muses, where I talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off, or what puts me to sleep. And which is apparently is Roger Moore, but he can put me to sleep any day or night, even though he's no longer with us. But we are going to be having some Irish content because yes, it is St. Patrick's Day this year. Well, it's every year, but actually, technically, it's on the 18th, not the 17th. But no one gives a damn because the whole world is terrible. But I got some St. Patrick's Day. I've got some ghost stories coming up, and tomorrow, Potato Revan and I are going to be doing an Irish history talk, specifically the Easter Rising up through the Civil War, 1916 to 1923. Unless we misunderstood the meaning of next Tuesday, and then it'll be not tomorrow Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. So stay tuned, hit the bell, and all that jazz. And dumb criminal news? Oh my gosh. Okay, we don't endorse dumb criminals here at Miss Martin Muses, but
Oh,
please,
well, we definitely do on Mara's channel. We have dumb criminal stuff there all the time.
okay, well, I like dumb criminals. Okay, I'll take them. Yeah, I've really got to go. This is what happens when I get fatigue. So, have a great evening, everyone. Have a great evening, and be certain to watch good movies, good material, and be excellent to each other.